Hey there, paper geeks and glitter nerds. It's another crazy geek crafter, and here are 3 more Christmas cards, Yuletide cards, whatever you want to call them. For this one, I made a layering stencil set using canvas from Brother. It comes with my ScanNCut machine, and this was just the easiest way to do it. I could have made it in Jane was very interested in this process. I could have made it in Illustrator or something like that, Photoshop, but I just opted for the canvas program. Snowflakes are very simple shapes anyway, so but like I said, very, very interested. I couldn't even see what I was doing, so I had to move her out of the way in the end. Yeah. When I make my own stencils to cut on my brother, I take laminate sheets and I put one through, and then I put it into a new sheet and then run it through again, so it's a double layer. It makes it less flimsy. It does tend to rip foam when I use foam applicators. That is a problem, and I don't know exactly how I'm gonna deal with that other than buying brushes. At the moment I only have old shaving cream brushes, and one of them doesn't work too well, so I tend to only use the good one. And it seems that the brushes are the best way to do stenciling, but buying, what is it, 12 or something that you'll need for the different colors, and yeah, it's a lot of money, and I have to talk myself into it. Maybe I should put them on my Christmas wish list. Yeah. So another problem with making these is when you have a lot of tiny pieces, it takes a while to get them off the mat. But I actually found out I can just use this stemming block I have. And then actually got rid of most of it. I did have a few pieces that were stuck on because the layers of plastic had separated. But otherwise, it went all right. Mostly it was stuck in the stencil, and I could just poke it out and help it fall off. So it didn't stick to the backside, which was a bit sticky from the mat. Yeah. So the process takes a bit, but I really like the layering stencil I did with candles, so I wanted to make another one. See if I could make some snowflake design. Next time I want to do more stencils, and that'll be interesting, but I don't think it'll be this year. It'll be next year at some point. Since I have designed the stencils to fit in a specific way over each other, I am writing the name I gave the stencil and a number at the bottom, so I always get it right side up, both of them the same way, make it easy for me, and I don't get it turned over. This won't last in the long run, but I didn't want to get out my label maker at this point. I just wanted to get on with the crafting, so this was the temporary solutions, and I have made labels for them now and put them on, so I don't have to worry about the text disappearing. I didn't want to do white cardstock for this. That's why I picked this light blue. I don't own any distress oxides or pigment inks, so I can't really do this project on dark cardstock, which I would have preferred to do this on really dark blue cardstock or black, but I had to work with what I had, and that was distress inks, and you need a light surface for you to be able to use those. I'm just trying to make it easy for myself to line up the stencil and keep the panel in place by using this block of squared paper. Yeah, so where was I? Yeah, so that's why I picked the blue color. They didn't all turn out great, but I did get to try a few different things, and I should have inked up this ink before I started. That was a bit foolish because I have the re-inker because I know it's going dry, but I'll remember later. So But yeah, it takes a while to do all the inking. And I picked Tumbled Glass because it's the lightest blue I have, and since it was the background was already blue, it would be even darker. So I was afraid to pick the really dark colors for this, and it did turn out nice. I should have started with the other stencil though. I hadn't thought about that. This one has a part that goes over the other one, and I wanted to do some embossing to try that out. I did actually contemplate doing 2 layers of embossing, one white, one silver, but I went with the ink instead to start with, just to be easy on myself. Since I was going over some detail areas with this stencil, I picked the clear embossing powder for this test, and it looks nice. It's not that. It's just I was trying things, and sometimes you forget to think ahead, and that was what happened here. Not everything was totally dry, but I didn't mind that some of the other things got a bit of heat embossing as well. I was trying out a trick I thought maybe would work for heat embossing large pieces using post-it tape, but this particular post-it block does not have a very strong adhesive. I think next time I'll try the full sticks instead, because the heat actually made them let go of the cardstock. But that's a test for another day. And I had embossing powder everywhere. So here I'm testing out some of the colors. I actually wanted to do a pink, green, light blue theme. It didn't turn out as great as I'd hoped. And that's because, again, these are distress inks. They are not oxides, and that just dulls the color when you put it on something that isn't white. I should maybe have picked the picked raspberry instead of the Saltwater Taffy to get a more pink color, but I didn't want it to be too bright. So yeah, this is the route I went, and yeah, it looked okay in the end. Here I am mixing up some water with some Perfect Pearls. I had run out, so I had to mix up a new batch. It was quite easy. And it doesn't seem to clog the nozzle of this sprayer, so that's a bonus for me. So now I can get some shine on my snowflakes. That was the word. And while I wash this off, this will dry and we'll be ready for the next one, which I'll be doing in cracked pistachio, and that one really needs a re-anchor, so it's getting on the list for re-inks. I am starting to buy re-anchors for my inks because a lot of them are gone dry, but I couldn't remember last time I ordered which ones were really bad, so I just ordered some sets that would work for a project I was doing anyway. But this one really needs some help because I couldn't use the brush here at all. I had to go in with a finger dauber, and all the points on my stencil was ruining the foam. It was easy with all the dots, no problem, but all the jagged lines here on the snowflakes, it was hard on the foam. Let's just leave it at that. After using 2 different blues in this one, I actually wanted some glitter, and I found out that my glitter paste had completely dried out. That was a bummer, because that was another thing I wanted to try out with my stencil to see how it hold up to glitter paste. But that'll be some other day when I bought a new one. I am going to fold up a card base to gauge how much I should take off around the edges. And I think I take off more than I should have on this one. I used the pink for tests because that was the one I was least happy about. But this was a bit too much of a border in my opinion. So I cheated on the others. There's actually nothing on the outermost centimeter of the top and bottom, but it doesn't matter too much. I'm gonna splatter everything so you won't notice it. I was unsure whether this would be necessary, but it ended up being so. Even with the edges inked and with the stickles, it just didn't look right to me. So it needed splatter and a lot of it. And apparently this new acrylic paint I bought, I need a lot more than I thought I should. I end up almost giving up and actually dropping my paintbrush on the project and everything. It just, the splatter went everywhere but didn't really seem to show up on my project. That was really annoying. So I think I do 3 runs of this watered down acrylic paint. And this is where I get a bit frustrated. Finally, something's happening. And I'm also going to go over it with Perfect Pearls. But I will make a mistake in a second there. Don't worry, the liquid did not go to waste. I splattered a few panels that I'll be using for other cards later in the season. But this definitely got some Perfect Pearls water splattered all over. I actually had enough of this glitter water to do 4 A4s. So to cover up my mistakes with the splatter, there were a few big drops, and then there was the big mistake with the brush. But I'm going to cut out some snowflakes from these stylish snowflakes from my favorite things to cover up those blemishes. And this is just going to be straightforward die cutting. There's some work in it because it takes some time to poke out everything and that, but the process in itself is quite straightforward. But these are very intricate and you need to run them through your die machine, at least the sidekick, quite a few times for it to cut right. You don't have to struggle with it. Just a tip. I wanted to tie in the pink and the green for the pink and green snow card, so I am going to color in the snowflakes for that one in the middle. I go a bit overboard with the cracked pistachio though, and the snowflake is so small, so it turned completely green. The others I'm just going to try and keep it in the center. 1 blue, 1 pink, 1 green, and then Stickels will be doing the rest of the work for me. As with the first 4 cards, I have the same sentiment for those. I just have to cut them out with my banner die here from Fawn, and then I'll get going with gluing on everything. once again, to tie in the pink and the green to the otherwise very blue card, and to hide the fact that there's a very big margin between the panel and the actual card, I am coloring the edges in pink and green. Just a bit, just to tie in with the snowflakes on the card, and to make it a little bit less stark white. With this last edition of glitter, these are finally done. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be back next week for another one. Until then, have a good day, evening, or night.